It is high time for France to lift its knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies. On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying no, it cannot continue any longer. France's hypocrisy is evident and pervasive in daily life. Let's examine the cases of Mali and Chad as prime examples of this hypocrisy. In Chad, where the constitutional process has been interrupted, France applauded and its president visited to officially consecrate the new king's coronation ceremony. In Mali, where it is not the constitutional process that has been interrupted, but the transition process, France has condemned and even packed up its things to say that it is leaving Mali. That's hypocrisy. It's the double standard. It is the double language that France employs in its dealings with Africa. During our questioning of Mr. Jean-Yves Le Drian regarding the situation in Ivory Coast and France's decision to allow a third term, he provided a clear explanation. He stated that while he accepted the third term for Ouattara, he refuses it for Belarus. He emphasized that France has condemned the situation in Belarus and has actively encouraged the European Union to do the same. Le Drian explains that in Belarus, millions protested, unlike Ivory Coast, where there were no mass demonstrations on the streets. This is how France deals with African issues. Personally, we expect absolutely nothing from France. We desire her to cease meddling in our matters so that the people of Senegal can exercise their freedom of choice rather than being influenced by France's selection of a candidate using the tactics we are aware of. We begin by targeting individuals, adorning them with the Legion of Honor or a similar knightly rank, enlisting them in Masonic lodges, and informing them to prepare themselves as they will be next in line. Even the hypothesis that Macky Sall may not succeed, we know who is being prepared by France. This must come to an end. It will not occur in this manner any longer. Let's be clear. We have absolutely nothing against the French people. In France, both political and citizen voices are rising to hold and express the same discourse as the one I am currently presenting to you. For example, the deputies, such as Mrs. Frédérique Dumas, who regularly speaks on the platform of the Assembly, who regularly writes to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, since she is a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, to raise this unfair behavior of France towards Africa, hold the same speech as us. The same Mr. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, Jean-Paul Lecoq, André Chassaigne, all deputies, hold the same discourse as us, and hundreds of other voices. The NGOs, like other non-profit organizations, are doing remarkable work in the same direction. We strongly urge France to listen to the voices that speak to it about our plan for a more collaborative, fairer, and sustainable partnership between Africa and France. It is crucial that we work together towards a future that is equitable, just, and environmentally conscious. If she listens, I believe we'll have beautiful days ahead in our collaboration together. If he doesn't know how to cut it, thinking he can continue to function like in the time of our grandfathers, this African youth no longer accepts it. France must make preparations for a definitive break and completely withdraw from Africa. Africa belongs to Africans, not France. She belongs to no one else, neither China, nor the United States, nor anyone else.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe every one of you are very happy listening to the current president of the Senegal speaking with a lion heart. His boldness and the step he is taking now is what every African countries need. And guess what? I have a question for those that call themselves Anglophone. When I say Anglophone, the people that refer themselves as an English-speaking countries in Africa, countries like Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, and the rest of them, there are many. Why are none of you waking up like the people that we call the Francophone? Because with the rate and the force, the Francophone people, I mean the French-speaking part of Africa, the rate they are waking up and dismantling the colonies and taking their natural resources, taking back their country, exercising their right, and the growing with potentials is overwhelming. And I ask you people, those who claim to be English-speaking people like Nigeria, who claim to be giant of Africa, but I call them giant of foolish people. They are not giant of Africa. They are actually giant of the problem of Africa. They are the cause of the problem. What are you people waiting for? Now it's time for every countries to rise up, African countries. What you see that is happening to Burkina, Niger, Mali, Guinea, and the rest of Africa by the marginalization from the French country are also going on in Nigeria. Britain and America are harvesting every natural resources that you found in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and the rest. Why are they keeping quiet? No country in Africa has gotten her independence. Quote me any day, anywhere, and I will prove you right. I will prove it to you. Now, what are we waiting for? Are you aware that as I am speaking to you now, Nigeria is suffering from abject poverty because the natural resources in Nigeria are being controlled by the Britain, and the Britain are the ones selling the Nigerian natural resources to America, China, and to the France, and nobody is rising up. You sound out, you feel like you have a independent. You only have it in the theory, in a paper. In reality and in physicality, you don't have independent. You are still slave, economically, mentally, and otherwise. You are still under the colony. We need to restart fighting for our freedom, to gain the total freedom and start controlling of our land. We need to demonstrate to the world that this color can actually manage the affairs of Africa without the interference of the Western and the Americans. Kudos to the president of Senegal and the president of Chad for taking the bold step to join Captain Ibrahim Traoré and that of Mali and Niger to fight for the people and not joining the bad wagons to sell the people to the West. Kudos to you. I remember my humble self, MAP Ezioku Bondo. 1. And Biafra will soon join us the moment we get our independence. That is when the total liberation of Africa will have his limelight properly. Thank you and remain blessed.